Neo Monsters. This is the second match of Rookie League, so let's start. Rookie League, rank E. I am on the first place and I am versus the fourth place Hordov. That's why he has not very good ones, so let's start. So we meet again. Hector's successor. I'll never forget the defeat dealt me in the tryouts. I will avenge myself and put the brakes on your ambition of reviving that villain's legacy. So this is the last one that we encountered. I am strong against electric Beasley. I am strong in fire, reckless attack. Now two enemies, they are going to attack me. One of them is out. Mega Wave all. One more is out. Dust Ball. They all are poisoned. Fight. Reckless attack. And thick skull. One more is out. And now element. No. Going to use stone against pterodactyl. Dust call. One more is out. Coco crab. Mega wave ball. Blood calf. He is out. The last one to stand is pterodactyl. And he is out. We won this match. I am shocked we were even allowed into the Monster Leagues. We ought to be locked up by the Imperial Guards. Hector was a cruel man who killed not only the Emperor but his poor daughter as well. Who knows what his successor might do. Next. I am again at the top. The last match that was left, your monster was fully required. Let's do some training. On your return from buying some food in downtown Oakland, you encounter a large procession walking through the main street. In the center of the procession is a young boy waving at the cheering throngs from the window of an elaborate couch. You have never seen him before, but you have little doubt this must be the Emperor of Russian Empire himself. The procession and its spectators force you to find a detour. You duck into a back alley to get around the crowds. Upon entering the alleyway, you seem to have caught someone by surprise. The strange individual, hidden under a hood, quickly runs out of sight. Let's do training. answer. I'm just going to explore and go to the one which this one that we have not explored yet, the temple. The water temple. I am just going to use stone. He is out. Mega Wave. He is out again. Sorry for that. You sense a dangerous presence. Warm glow from the healing circle heals your team injuries. All of your monsters are now back at full HP. Let's go and see who is it. And strong against everyone. One of them is out. I am just going to do a blood carve on bark roof. Mega Revolve. They all died. Why? Dust Bowl. Killed one of my reckless attack. Super Bolt. Team Accelerate. Dust Ball. Element. Reckless attack. Dust Ball. Accelerate team. Reckless attack. He's just going to kill one of more. Dust Ball. Super Bolt. Stone. Stone dude did a lot of damage. Horror fish died. Reckless attack. And he's out. Capture. He's the boss. Why? He's out. Sorry again. Next. I killed the boss. Let's go and do some training. As the two of you sit down for dinner, Randolph asks about your day. You saw the Emperor in person? Lucky you. When you tell him you're surprised at how young the guy is, Randolph's expression becomes grim. About 10 years ago, his father, the previous emperor, was assassinated along with boy's elder sister. The poor boy had to succeed the throne when he was barely 5 years old. His Majesty's mother handles most of the decision making as his regent, but even so, it is quite a burden for one so young. Do you know who the Imperial Guard arrested by the Sign, your Uncle Hector. They claimed he killed the emperor and his daughter during an audience. He never believed it for a single moment. Hector would never do such a thing. Those trying him disagreed. Hector was found guilty of treason and executed. And that is how your uncle died. I'm just going to finish this Rookie League training. Okay, like league battle. I can do training from there. Rookie League. Sorry for that again. Training. Use all of our points. I am having 4 cards. All of the attack of all of mine just went up. I think this will just go and I'm just going to do the attack again. Anyone going to evolve? No one. Let's buy. He has 5. Let's start. Hey there, remember me? We fought once. Back in the tryouts, I knew you qualified for the Rookie League. After all, this Hector Fagner, you ask her why she seems to adore Hector Fagner despite what he did. I missed it. What did she say? Armstrong is electric flyther. Reckless attack and accelerated team. He damage to himself. Sequel also. Mega Wave Wall. One of them will die. Dusk Call. Another one died. Reckless attack. Him. He is out. Needed player. Ice Pack. Stone. Flyther. One Ice Tiger is dead. Now Dusk Call. Another one of them is out. Mega Wave. Super Bolt. Fireworker. No, we did that. We did the reactor. Flyther, you are out. Dusk Ball. And the Rookie League is over. Wow, your team is definitely a level above the others. You are only one I lost to this season. Of course, I wouldn't expect any less from Hector's pinnacle successor. Why do I respect Hector so much? Well, it is a long story. Basically, when I was little, he had risked his life to save mine. Next, I win 3 matches. Rookie League, finished in first place. Next, congratulations to the top two teams of this season. This These teams have earned a spot in tryouts for the next league, the Advanced League. The tryout will take place on the desert island. Each winning team will be given a free travel pass to go there. As with the tryouts of Rookie League, you are to find defeat four other trainers while exploring the island. Here a map of desert island marked with the locations you are likely to find the parties, and take a careful look. Okay. We look forward to your continued success. The other team getting promoted turns out to be Muskia. So you are going to advance with towers as well. Congratulations. I'm glad we are going to the next stage together. We will get to have another battle soon. With luck, I'll see you in the tryouts. And if not, let's meet again in actual league. Welcome home. So how was the last match of the season? Your team was in the top 2. Great. You and your monsters are doing a fantastic job. For your next tryouts, you will be heading to Desert Isle, right? As you might have guessed, much of the island is covered with sand deserts, with a few grassy areas here and there. You will find a lot of new monsters, many which are stronger than those on the central island. Tryouts are perfect opportunity to bolster your team. Hunt for monsters while you look for trainers. I swear it was him. Jimmy a break. How do you expect anyone to believe this tall tale of yours? I would have been more convincing if you just said you ran into Hector Finnegan. But Hector is in his youth. If you are not pulling your legs, then you were just imagining things. I am serious. Hector was one of the first trainers I fought when I was starting out. I'd never mistake his face. Sure. Where did you meet his young Hector Finnegan? Did you travel back in time or something? So, it was at Howling Stones. There was an entrance to an underground tunnel there. Sounds more and more like you were just dreaming. You must have tripped over one of the stones and knocked yourself out. I'm not making this up. You ought to go to Howling Stones and see for yourself. The other show no interest in visiting the location to check this man's claim. You, however, are now curious about this place. You turn your heels toward the direction of Howling Stones. In the next episode, we will go and explore